Jackie, I have neurofibromatosis type 2.
How has neurofibromatosis affected your life?
And that's had a negative impact on my social life. I am bipolar adjustment and I have a speech impairment. It makes it difficult for me to communicate. Tumors down in my facial nerves and my facial muscles are weak. Many times it's difficult for people to understand what I'm saying. Bipolar schwannomas damage my auditory nerves and cause profound deafness. My deafness makes it difficult for me to understand speech in large gatherings. I use an AVI to understand speech. AVI helps me understand speech when I speak to people one-on-one. I need to speech read. I hear voices with my AVI. It facilitates speech reading. However, it was difficult for me to understand speech at large social gatherings where many people are speaking simultaneously. People don't look at me directly. I can't see their lips. There's also a lot of background noise at large gatherings, which makes speech seem garbled and more difficult to understand. I feel very uncomfortable in large social gatherings. I avoid them whenever possible. And I've also influenced my decision to not have children. Prior to my diagnosis, I had planned on getting married and raising a family. However, when I learned that 50% chance of my children inheriting enough from me, I decided against having children. This is the painful decision for me, but it would have been more painful for me if I did have children, my children inherited enough from me. I would have blamed myself because I was aware that enough is hereditary.
What is something about my NF that people can't see?
People cannot see my chronic pain and multiple tumors that are growing in my brain and spinal cord. People also cannot see the anxiety that NF causes for me. These tumors have been relatively stable, but they can suddenly grow and need to be removed. There's always a risk of nerve damage when these tumors are removed. This can cause more neurologic deficits for me and become further disabled. I was diagnosed with NF2 in October 1984 when I was 19 years old. I'm now 56 years old and I'm mostly independent. I work a full-time job. I usually care for my own personal needs. I do my own laundry and food shopping. I also help my roommate maintain our apartment. However, NF2 can be very unpredictable. One spinal tumor or one brain tumor can eventually change my life. I become depressed when I think about the possibility of becoming further disabled. I try to suppress these thoughts because they are counterproductive. I have a strong desire to fight enough. When I become depressed, my situation seems hopeless and I feel like I'm fighting a losing battle. I develop a negative outlook on my life and I won't give up fighting. I figure if I'm going to become disabled anyway, why bother fighting? My students at NYU, they don't have highly skilled. Their experience and knowledge can minimize such a competition. It's not possible to prevent all complications.
What is something about me that other people can't see because of NF?
Some people have perceived me as being lazy and neglectful. This misperception of me is very insulting. I consider myself to be very responsible and conscientious. I've undergone multiple surgeries on my brain and spinal cord. The surgeries have taken a toll on my body. I have neurologic deficits and weakness. The schwannomas have caused biological vestibular dysfunction. My balance and movement mobility are impaired. I used to walk and move slowly, just like a trip and fall. I become tired more often. I become tired more often than most people, and I need to take breaks. I become dizzy if I move too quickly or do too much at once. I need to face myself and work at a slower pace. Sometimes it takes me long to finish what I need to do.
Why is it important to make NF visible?
If more people were aware of the physical difficulties NF can cause in patients' daily lives, and aware of the physical and emotional pain NF can cause, maybe more people would be willing to donate to the CCF to provide further funding so researchers can continue to develop treatments that may improve the quality of patients' lives. And if patients did not do anything to cause our medical conditions, and if it's caused by a genetic mutation, mutation can be inherited from a parent, or it can be kind of caused spontaneously. People with spontaneous mutation do not have a family history like myself. I'm the only one in my family who has enough. And if patients are forced to live with this condition and manage as best we can. Maybe, hopefully the cure will be found to end NF. I have been living with NF for 37 years with help from God and my physicians on the challenges communified. I'm Jackie, see enough, see me, fight enough. Yeah, bye.
That's it.
Yeah.